So what would be a better time to do a four-wheel drive swap? Here's the plan. I've got all the tools laid out for this job. Went and matched everything up. We've got some TTB axles over on the side here that are semi-ready to go in. They are missing some spindles and stuff. I got that in the garage around the corner. We'll deal with that later, but we want to get the axles in the truck, and then I'll probably go down for a nap and we'll come back later. But yeah, so this truck here is my 85 F150 standard cab, long bed, Alan Jackson edition. It's got a 302. I just put a carburetor on it. Automatic, no good. Anyways, this truck we got at the beginning of the year, I think January. It was at the Junkyard, and well, it's actually in really good shape. I mean, it's got a few dents and stuff, but that's character building stuff. But otherwise, she's pretty straight, fairly clean, no rust on the cab at all. It's actually cleaner than the other truck that we've been working on, rebuilding the 4BT and everything. This one is my new coloring book that I've been picking on whenever I can get to. I got a lot of ideas brewing in my head for it, and I don't know if that 302 is going to stay in there. What was I? I need to get a big ratchet. It is about a 13. I think it's actually a half inch. Ow. On this bracket here, these are normally riveted on, so you could do a couple different things here. You can just undo that fastener there and then pull this whole assembly out and then drop it down, but if someone's been in here and they've replaced those and they did it the huge, those rivets will be gone and they'll have nuts and bolts. I'm gonna end up replacing that hardware. For right now, this is what's in there, but that hardware is a little on the chintzy side. I'm gonna get some stuff from Bronco graveyard, and my cat is on my back. She wants to know what I'm doing over here. Kitty? She's like, hey, why are you working over here? Because I've got another Ford tore apart. It's getting its Cummins rebuilt. Okay, let's there we go. Get over here. Unfortunately, I don't know where my deep socket 1 1/8 went. I'm gonna have to dig for it a little bit more. Found an 1 1/8 in Adam's toolbox he left here. By the way, Adam's doing alright. He just doesn't have time to come out here and work on stuff. He's got a really wonky schedule. Working on Amazon there. Let's see if this will work. Oh, aren't you funny? Set that aside. Well, these are fairly new. We got polyurethane and we got red. The thread's there. I'm gonna clean it with a brush, get all this dirt off. I'm gonna spray it down with some lube and then break it free, or at least try to. Once I break it free, I'm gonna get the heat gun and I'm gonna get this thing nice and hot. I have well, we can't use the 2-wheel drive studs on the 4-wheel drive, so what we'll do, well, I have new nuts for that from Bronco Graveyard. So we'll clean those up really good with a cone or a wire wheel or something, and then that'll go on way easier. So our challenge is getting that up and over. We'll just have to wiggle it and really just get it hung on the pivot there, and then we can put the jack under it and work with it from there. Yeah, broke her free. I just hit it with some heat for about a minute. First clean the threads, and then throw some liquid wrench on there after some heat. And this is working pretty good. She just comes right off right now. Cool. We won't need these pucks here. Probably just leave that rubber insulator on there. And I'm just gonna slap it right on the 4-wheel drive axle and call it a day. Okay, so one of y'all's is supposed to be sending a package out that's got the sway bar pucks here. I may put them in later. Well, actually I haven't even got them yet, but I will probably put them in later. But for right now, I think, you know, I'm running the other truck with just a rear sway bar, and that one's lifted and got firmer suspension and whatnot, but it handles pretty good with that, just a rear sway bar. And this one has the same rear sway bar setup, and this actually drives pretty decent with just the rear sway bar. So for right now, I'm gonna run without it. I'm gonna leave the front, kind of leave it with some freedom, you know, just a touch. And we'll put some lube on that. Oh, here's my pivot bushing kit. Not pivot bushing, but radius rod bushing. I've already done the pivot bushings with energy suspension. Do that off camera because, you know, screw it. Now these are for the 2-wheel drive. We'll just kind of make sure those are centered up, and we'll do the right thing and just clamp it down. Hopefully a black widow doesn't come out of nowhere and get me. Put that in there like that. Just really crank on it here. Yeah. That was a bit of a struggle. This is a heavy piece. So I've got it, it's hung on the one side, the bolt's through, so we're safe there. What we need to do is get the jack out from under it and get it under here. I might actually take my red jack, since I have 2 jacks. I'll put it on here and just start jacking this up, and then we'll get it up there, kind of wiggle it around a little bit, and then get that bolt all the way through to the other side. That's kind of the key right here. And then once we're done with that, we can just bolt that up, and well, that's kind of it. So after several swear words, got the axle in. So we're not going to be able to use These guys right here. They are too thick. I just couldn't get it to work. So I put the old bushings back in, which these were fairly new. So we're just gonna roll with that. I thought about actually loosening up the bolts for these radius arms here to let everything kind of, you know, find its place, but I don't know if that would really do anything. So what I'm gonna do for right now, I'm getting a little tired. I'm gonna go down for a nap. I've got this bracket all bolted up. Yeah, so that ought to do for now. We'll come back later and we'll get our spindles on here, get our brakes on there. Can't even see what I'm doing. We just snug these up. Don't torque them. Don't put it in with the 1/2" impact. So this is a rotor that I've had. Rotor and hub assembly. The other one that was on here, the hub was on the end was busted up. So I've got a one that I had on the shelf, just sitting, doing nothing. Clean up this seal surface here. This will be fine. This is packed with some fresh grease here. This has got an okay seal on it. Okay, I don't think we needed anything else on this. We just got our little guy here. Where's our... I didn't look to see where our notch was. 1/2" drive this? Yeah. Okay, on we go. Now with these, the way I do these, and I think a lot of other people do it this way too, just get it to where it's kind of tight. We probably should resurface these rotors, but guess what? We're just gonna run them as is. I'll probably actually just buy new ones. The bearings are repacked with fresh grease, so that should be good. Okay, so that's getting really tight. And then we'll back it up a skosh. I want it to feel a little firm, but not. We don't want it too tight. We don't want to burn up the bearings. I think that feels pretty good. I think, yeah, this needs to do ball joints. I was gonna do that with it off the truck, but what we'll do is we'll get this all situated, take it for a rip, and then what we'll do is we'll come back later and we'll put new tie rod ends and new ball joints and stuff, and yeah. This guy goes in here like this, something like that, and then we pop that one in. Pop that one in. And then this one will go like that. Doink. There. Done. Got brakes. Stick that in there like that. Cool. Like factory. This little booger is not very happy today. It just won't stay running. So I was able to move it back and forth. I really had to give her some pumps. So you can see the top of the tire is kadoinked in quite a bit. So I don't know. It was he probably had a lift or something on it, and it was pulled in. So this will need a steering alignment for sure. Steering wheel straight-ish. That wheel's straight-ish. And this one's kind of straightish, but really cambered in. But it, I'd say the ride height is almost the same. Let's see, we got a little roller here. We don't need much. So let's see, from the top of the tire here, we got like 4.5. Let's say 4.5. That was really towed in. And then we got 4 inch on this side, but we actually are uneven. There's more dirt on this side than there's over here. So that'll probably be about 4.5. Actually, this is gonna sit up a teeny bit higher because when you get in it, the truck's gonna squat down a tiny bit. So yeah, that's about right. We went a little bit more on one side than the other. And you can see that's down low, the other side's high, and the whole truck's all tweaked. I'm not really sure why it's running like crap. It just doesn't want to stay running. I don't know if the choke is not, I don't know. That's it, we're putting a diesel in it. So, because it didn't change the ride height, yeah, maybe we will continue on with the all-wheel drive swap. I'm just worried about it changing ride height. If it changes the ride height so much that it, makes it look like a four-wheel drive, I don't really want to do it. So if I put drive slugs in the front axle, I can put those over it, and really, you just can't tell that it's got four-wheel drive. Anyways, I'm gonna pause the video here. I'm gonna come back at a later time. I need to get some sleep, so I'm gonna pack up my tools, but get them back in the garage, and we'll continue on with the other side here in a little bit.